Okay, hello guys. Good evening. Today is Thursday the 11th. Bring up my clock this time so I won't get that wrong. Um, Fairly busy day today, and we left the room once again. Saw quite a bit of action after leaving the room. Usually we see a bit sort of kick in mid-level, but we've seen a fair bit kick in. Now with the Euro US, I mean these are the levels that we marked out earlier during the room. Initially today, kind of first level to breach would have been the 137.25, and then see some kind of breach on our trend lines here. See the market did eventually pull down, but to actually reconfirm the overall longer term trend, we'd have to see a push down below the Friday lows, which we didn't quite see in the end. Got very, 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 very close, but haven't quite seen just yet. My overall outlook on these pairs is still dollar bullish. I mean, there's been a couple of hiccups today, perhaps, but nothing too unsurprised. There's a few things it's a slight surprise on a couple, which I'll go through very shortly. US Swiss francs, obviously, just going to be a complete opposite of Euro US. Moved up, couldn't quite breach the highs, pushed back down. And I suppose the only time I'd be worried about this is we see, well, not necessarily worried, but the only time that may make me think that we've kind of topped is if we saw the market move back into the previous ranges that we had, which at least so far we haven't seen. Same with the Euro US. Dollar yen, um, pretty similar thing. I mean, we haven't seen much action on this pair today. My outlook on this pair is definitely short at the moment. I had my trend line on there earlier. We didn't quite get up to the 90 level again, 90.1. So I would expect the market to start moving down on this one again now, which hopefully will be the case. Now, the surprise of the day for me, in fact, there's two, is the pound US and the US CAD. Now, oops, I just deleted that. That's not very good, is it? Did I delete or minimize it? Yeah, I deleted it. Anyway, sorry, so let me get this pound chart up again. That wasn't a very good start. Uh, I'm not going to bother editing this either, so you can have a good laugh at me deleting my charts. Um, anyway, yeah, so we've seen the pound move up. This is the kind of level I was looking for, and we saw the pound push up. Now I was looking for a bit of correction. If you look back from earlier on in the week, I was expecting the market to kind of pull up a bit. It's similar to the levels that we're kind of looking at now anyway, before we see it come down. US CAD as well, which pushed down when I was expecting the market to come up. So I was kind of hoping that it topped at where we'd seen it or bottomed, depending on which pair obviously you're referring to, at them particular levels, which in this case we haven't seen just yet anyway. But once again, I'm still going to be looking for the dollar strength to continue. Other pairs, Euro Yen, we've seen breakdown. I actually entered in a slightly longer term trade on another one of my platforms today on the Euro Yen, which I sold at 123.95. I also entered into a trade while we are in the room at 122.60. That's my line on there. If I bring up my G platform, you'll be able to see that trade there. So 23 pips drawdown at the moment, but it's still very, very early on in the trade, so I'd expect that to start coming back down again now. Well, not necessarily now. It's going to be a quite Asian session anyway. Bank holiday today. It's either today or last night in Japan. Not too sure. I'm not Japanese, but anyway, yeah. So I would expect this to to start coming down pretty soon, I should say. Aussie US, at least at the moment, I was looking for a good position to sell. I mean, I still think we're doing pretty well as long as we don't really see it go any further. I still got my 89.25 level on. That was the kind of level that if we saw it push above would perhaps change my outlook and maybe give me the impression that we've bottomed on there. So yeah, once again, I mean, a couple of surprises, but other than that, pretty much everything else. Still waiting for the pound yen to come down. We had a few poke down earlier, but none crossed below my trend lines and stayed below my trend lines. It's now pulling back up. Once again, anything above 141.40, 141.41 would perhaps change my outlook, but I'm still going to be expecting this pair to come down shortly as well. So all in all, I mean, a pretty eventful day in terms of moves. I mean, these moves all seem to have came out of nowhere, but I would expect the dollar strength to continue. which will probably see over the coming weeks, hopefully. I mean, I may be wrong on that, but yeah, it'll be an interesting one to see. Another point worth pointing out, although the euro has pulled up again now against the dollar, but we had the information come from Europe in regards to Greece. That according to them they had sorted the problem, and based upon that, especially considering majority of people saying the euro was coming down. Obviously, if I'm moving on to the safe havens to for the risk aversion side of things. But we didn't really see much for pullback based on that. I mean, the market's never ever going to just suddenly jump up to, whatever level. But yeah, honestly don't think it's going to make too much of a difference. And a good phrase for that is putting a bandage over a wound that probably needs surgery. Is a commonly used phrase on that one. So yeah, anyway, we'll see how it goes. Um, but yeah, not a great deal. So I'm short on euro yen. Other than that, nothing else for me today. Yeah, so that's pretty much it. If anyone does have any questions though, please let me know. Once again, still dollar bullish, still safe haven, so yen and dollar bullish, and we'll see how that goes tomorrow. Any questions, though, let me know, and we'll go for it. Until then, I'll speak to you tomorrow. Thank you.